Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong 64. In this episode, we're going to take Chunky out through Fungi Forest to the well that is in the main area of the level, where the cuckoo clock is. You remember I said there was something fun in the well? Well, let's go find out what it is. That's right, folks, our second minecart of the game.
Just grab 50 coins and this golden banana is yours, Chunky. Use the control stick to speed up, slow down, lean left or right. Press A to jump, and watch out for the bell-activated gates and falling stuff in there. Have a good journey.
Yep, there's a whole lot more stuff for us to dodge in this minecart than there was in Diddy's, including falling girders, bells that we have to activate by jumping into them to open up gates. It's a lot more switches that we need to flip. Falling rocks and pillars, as well as several dark areas that it's going to be hard to see exactly what is going on. And our old friends, the claptraps and the minecarts. Now there's a switch back there that I missed that if you hit it, it will drop a rock and crush that kremling, which may come in handy later on in the level, but it's not necessary. This is actually my favorite minecart of this game. I like it even more than I like Diddy's, even though it is horrible. There's just so much going on. It's just such a busy thing. Don't hit that red bell. That'll cause a gate to fall down, and it'll have the same effect as these gates. Alright, so this area. There are trees that fall. You can hear them before you see them. So you want to, as soon as you hear the creaking noise, jump. Chunky is so strong he can lift the minecart up off of the rails when he jumps instead of just jumping out of it like Diddy does. You want to jump over these rocks because they will hit you. Also, TNT barrels. Avoid them. Like I said, it's a busy, busy thing. You gotta stay on your toes. Kremlings. Gates that open and close automatically. Slow down to avoid them. A bell. Hit it. Dark area with flashing lights, and lightning and thunder, and a gate that opens and closes in regular time. You can't see this tree very well. Jump when you hear the sound. Slow down. Speed up. Just by pressing up and down the control stick. Easy. We've almost got 50 coins. I don't want to take too many more hits, otherwise we might end up missing it. Miss those girders. Miss the kremling with the club. Slowing down and speeding up here is going to be essential. You can take the left path if you want more coins, but all three of them do lead to the same place. It all depends on how many coins you need at the end. And we did it!
You're more agile than you are, Chunky!
Yay, Chunky! Now you might think we're a little low on golden bananas for Chunky, aren't we? Well, yes we are, but remember, most of them are actually inside the big tree. And you'll see that we're in a completely different area now. You may remember that well by the mill area. That's where this pops out. It actually does take you someplace, just like the other minecart. There's two locations for it to go. Now that we're here by the mill as well, we have some other things that we need to do with Chunky here. Let's go around and head in here. Frame rate drops a little bit when you do that, but you see these steel things and everything like that here. Well, this is all important for two Kongs, DK and Chunky. As well as this area is also going to be important for our friend Tiny a little later on, but for right now, mostly for DK and Chunky. Alright, so we want to get DK out. You see these skates here? Well, obviously we can't get into them right now, but we gotta take this zinger down. See, your crosshairs turn green when there's an enemy within shooting range. So, you do that and you shoot them. Now, I believe this switch... I'm trying to remember how you get in there. You don't fall or anything. There's another switch around here somewhere that you have to punch, that you have to slam to open it. I think it's this up here. You see big question mark boxes like this. You saw them in Frantic Factory first, but they make a reappearance in this one. There we are. That opens that gate. But that gate actually does close if you're not fast enough, and it can be annoying. Alright, so we're here. One other thing, homing ammo. It's great to use against enemies, not great to use against banana balloons. But because the ammo will actually hold it on the nearest enemy and ignore the banana balloons. Yeah, that makes it a little awkward sometimes to be able to try to aim. Okay, now. We have 3 switches here. 1, 2, and with 1, 2, and 3 dots. There is a number over there above that steel thing, the mill, I guess you'd call it. 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, I believe. So you go ahead and pull the 2. The 1. The 1 again. This is the same in every game file, by the way. It doesn't change. 2, 3. I think it's 2, 3. It's either 2, 3 or 3, 2. Yep. If you're wrong, it zaps you. Then you have to start all over. So 2. It's 2, 1, 1, 3, 2. Fairly easy, and as long as you remember to glance at that sign before you enter this area, it's not that hard. It's kind of hard to see from inside this fence, but, you know, it's not like it's a really difficult puzzle in the first place. Okay, flip that, and then this one. You remember that Donkey's levers often activate machinery? At least they did back in Frantic Factory. And in Gloomy Galleon. Well, this one's no exception. It turns on the conveyor belt there for us, which takes a golden banana outside. Now, since that golden banana is not transparent, we know that Donkey has to collect it, not another Kong. But here's something interesting. Even though the conveyor belt's rolling now, that big spike grinder there, millstone I guess you could say, isn't moving. Well, we're gonna need to use Chunky to get that moving, but we can't do anything in this area. We gotta go around to the other side of the mill. This is why I want to do the minecart first, because since the minecart popped us out right here, we wouldn't have to walk here to get here anyway. See, I'm remembering to do things in a better order this time. So go ahead and primate punch the doors open here, and take us into the back room of the mill. Now there's some chunky coins and stuff lying around in here, not really all that much useful items. I'm just going to grab them just for completionist sake, since that's what I do. Then there's actually several things we need to do back here. There's this box here that we have to primate punch open, and a chunky music pad, a triangle pad. Go ahead and play that, and that's what's, for some reason, starts the wheel on the outside of the mill, which means that the millstone, or grinder, inside is moving now. Now you might think, well, what use is that? What are we going to put in that? The answer might be a little obtuse, unless you remember that Chunky can pick up stuff that's too heavy for the other Kongs to pick up. Yes, we have to take these oil drums and take them into that room. Now this stuff back here, you may be a little intrigued by this. We're going to figure out what that is when we first activate the night cycle, because that's for Tiny, and it's not going to... Obviously, we can't do anything there until nighttime. It is a very fun little thing, actually. A mini-boss, you might call it. But obviously, we're not going to be able to do that until later. Now, why is it raining out here now? I really don't know. I think that might be the explanation as to why the wheel suddenly started to turn. But that really doesn't make much sense to me if that's true. And anyway, what we gotta do is jump up here on the conveyor belt, place the barrel down on it, and then get off before it hits the grinder. Then one of those lights will light up. Go ahead and do the same to this one. Now we had to carry that barrel here from the other room, because there's only 2 barrels in this room, and we need to activate all 3 to be able to get what's coming to us. And you don't want to set this down too close to the grinder, because then you won't be able to get off in time and you will take damage. So the third light lights up and a golden banana comes out. Nice. And that's all 4 for Chunky. All he's got left is his blueprint and a a lot of bananas, and we'll be finished with him for this level. Almost. You might remember that every Kong hasn't had a boss fight except for him? Well, that's because he hasn't had a boss fight yet, obviously. And that means that this is going to be his level. Why I'm getting Diddy out, I'm not exactly sure, because I'm trying to remember exactly what else we can do in this area while it's still daytime. Because this episode may be the first one that we have that we're actually going to switch it to nighttime. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm just checking, I'm going to be checking around most of this area, and we'll see if there's any other things here that I forgot to do that we can do in daytime. Go ahead and jump, well, actually go ahead and jump into Diddy's barrel here. And fly around, because I think there may be something in this area that we can do. Diddy flying around in his jet barrel. Maybe I'm wrong. I know there is in the area with the giant mushroom, but I don't remember if there is in this one. I don't think there is, now that I'm thinking about it. It's probably just a red herring, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll have to maybe I'll miss something and have to come back. Whatever the case, let's go ahead and switch it to nighttime. As we do, we're going to want to be, let me think, which Kong can accomplish the most during the nighttime in a short time period? We're going to go to Tiny Kong, because then we can use that, we can figure out what those things in the mill are. Now, a lot of stuff in this level changes during the nighttime, so let's go ahead and hit the switch right here. Look at the size of that moon. But yep, all of a sudden, not only is it nighttime, the zingers have all changed to bats. All of the mushroom enemies have also disappeared and changed to other enemies. And the enemies that throw grenades, they've turned into skeletons. Skelecrons. Probably some of the most disturbing enemies in this game make their first appearance here. In the nighttime cycle of Fungi Forest. Of course, this is being a rare game, you can bet that that's not going to be their only appearance. Rare games always have scary bits, if they're not completely comprised of scary bits. So go ahead and swim in the moat around the water wheel, which, you know, that's all it is really is a moat. There's no currents. There can't be. Not in something this small. But then you see that this door here is blocked off. So how are we going to get inside? Well, and this door's blocked off too, both of them by day gates, which weren't there before. Well, there is a solution. Obviously, that's Donkey's banana over there. We can't pick that up. Let's go ahead and can't get in there. I think we may have missed something earlier. I think there's a box that we had to smash as Chunky before we do this. Maybe I'm wrong. Yep, we can't fit in there. Okay, so we can't do anything there either. Yeah, I was misremembering. You do have to do something with Chunky in the daytime before you can finish this area. But that's alright. We still have some other things we can do around here. Take that. So we'll go ahead and jump into the tag barrel. You see that this area now, before it had a gate that would only let us in here in the nighttime. Now it's open, and we can actually come inside. You want to come here as DK, because obviously there's a trail of DK bananas here. That's a pretty big clue. But there's also a strong Kong barrel here around the back. Which leads to this. See those rose bushes? Every single one of them, you walk into them and they'll hurt you. go ahead and head inside. That's why we use the strong Kong barrel to hit that switch, because otherwise you can't get near it. Alright, so this area. Go ahead and slam this box. There's a switch there. It's an old green switch, but that doesn't matter. Go ahead and kill this guy before we do anything, though. Alright, he went down. Alright, so you see that most of this area is actually fairly empty. There's no items, there's no grabbables, there's nothing like that. This is actually one of the parts that gave me the most frustration as a kid because of what's gonna do. There are some vines that come down, and then there's a minigame up there. Pretty simple, right? 25 seconds, we can do that. The thing is, what minigame it is. I'll show you once we get up there. Let's see what we got.
Welcome to bonus
Minecart
stage.
Mayhem! Yes, avoid the TNT cards. Cards? Yep, there's 2 of them. This is probably one of the most frustratingly pattern-based parts of this game. You literally have to memorize where the carts go and figure out a pattern that will take you to the end without dying. Now see, I've already screwed up because they got me on both intersections. Alright, so
welcome to bonus
this
stage.
game, it is really, really hard to figure out because it's not timing based or luck based or anything like that. It's pattern based. You basically have to do this trial and error until you manage to get it right, which isn't easy. There probably is a set pattern for the barrels that I just don't know, but this took me several tries, even on my most recent playthrough. And it makes you sick of the lava bubbling noise because you're going to be hearing it a lot with the amount of times that you have to restart this. I did go to the outside. I did. That's the other frustrating thing about this minigame, is the fact that it doesn't always properly respond to when you switch junctions. Because you're supposed to tilt the control stick in the direction of which way you want to go with the junction, as shown by the arrows on the screen. The problem is that it doesn't always properly pick that up. Oh, they got me.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I'm sure that there's a really easy solution. There's probably a game facts or something out there that says, you know, just take this intersection, and then this one, and you'll win every time. But if there is, I don't know it. And that makes it extremely frustrating. And I'm going to have to keep trying until I manage to get this right.
Welcome to bonus stage.
This is why this was so frustrating to me as a kid, because I didn't understand the concept of learning from your mistakes. I kept trying the same combinations over and over, varying my speed only, and hoping that I would be able to get through. See? I keep trying the same thing and hoping that the TNT cards vary, but no. They're like the ghosts in Pac-Man.
Welcome to
They'll
bonus
pursue
stage.
you wherever you go. You just have to figure out their pattern and how far away from you they usually are at certain stages. It's like one of those puzzles in an adventure game where you save before you start, and then you try out different combinations of things until you figure out the correct pattern. think I know what you have to do, but it's not easy.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I want to say that you have to go to the inside first, all the way to the inside, and then go outside. I think the goal is to try to get, basically, you want to try to get both TNT barrels to the inside track, and then move to the outside yourself. That'll give you more than enough time to get around the track and avoid both carts, but it's not easy. You have to get behind one and then avoid the other.
Welcome to bonus stage.
And if I continue to fail at this, I'm just going to wind up cutting out what I've done and then go back to the go back to where we were after I've gotten the golden banana. Because this is really starting to tick me off. Yeah, they got me.
Welcome to bonus stage.
There we go. I got it. See, and sometimes it seems like the movements of those stupid barrels are random. I know they're not. They're programmed to, obviously they're programmed to do something in relation to your own movement. But, you know, at the same time, it just feels like, I don't know. I could never figure that game out. That's probably... I'm sure that there's some people out there who've been able to figure out, like, oh, I never had any trouble with that game. Not me. And this box up here has a banana fairy in it, just so you know. She moves pretty slow. She's fairly easy to take a picture of, just provided you move quickly enough, because once she gets out towards the center of the room, she'll start moving faster. So you want to take a picture of her before she gets too far. Not that you're gonna have a problem with that. Alright, so we made some progress in this video. We got a couple of golden bananas, we found a banana fairy. I think we're gonna cut this off here, considering I still have a lot to edit out of that minecart failure, but it's not gonna be too much. So I'm gonna let you guys off here, and I'll see you next time on Let's Play Donkey Kong 64 as we continue to explore the night. See you all later, folks.